Welcome to Property Care. Today we are going to discuss about 10 mistakes owner makes it when they rent out their property. It could be a villa or it could be a flat. What are all the mistakes the owners make it. So I do property management for last 10 years. So I know I have met a lot of customers, owners who want to rent out their properties, tenants, move out, move in, society support, maintenance to the property. So I know the in-depth idea of the property lettings with respect to the residential property. Of course, I do commercial, but majority on the residential. So what are all the owners make the mistakes? So that is the 10 mistakes I'm going to discuss. This is mainly for a local owners. So I deal with the property owners who are locally available, and the property owners they are remote. For example, they are maybe in US, their apartment or villa here. So how do they manage their properties? What the mistakes they do, that I'll do next week. Post the separate video for a remote owners mistakes, and what are all the local owners will make mistakes when they let out their properties. So that is the topic which we are going to discuss. So this gives an idea where you have to be more aware when you rent out your property. So this is the idea behind today video. So what are all the 10 mistakes owners make it when they rent out their property? So villa or rent is the point which I'm going to discuss because the majority of the customers will be on this category. So that is the reason I took this as an example. And I am targeting on the residential category, which is rent between 15,000 to 1 lakh. So this is the range is the property owners I am targeting. And the commercial, industrial, agriculture properties, I'm not talking much because these are like a showrooms, office space. So it is a totally a different segment. And this should be handled by the professional property consultants. So if anybody owner does it, I don't recommend it. See, it is my perspective. You may be thinking that I am wrong. It's okay. So it is just I am sharing my idea. These things are a little bit complication involved. For example, renewal. It is not that rental, renewal type which is applies to the residential. So this is slightly a different zone, and each property type slightly different. Small shops different. You are space for an office space, some 10,000 square feet. Slightly renewal, procedures are different. So I would suggest to go with a professional agency to handle such requirements. And here the target audience are property investors, those who are planning to buy a property for rental purpose. Some of them are staying here and bought another villa and moving out to another place in the same city. So for them also it will be helpful, and tenants prospective by investors, OCI, NRIs. So those guys also, target audience. So the information and ideas I'm sharing it for educational purpose only. So you need to do some homework, and I'm sharing my thoughts and views. If you are okay with that, you please take it. If not, it's okay, no problem. You can ignore it. So it is my experience. I'm sharing it with for the benefit of other owners. So the value chain of the property is I divided into four categories. One is investment, rent and manage, and the sale. So all four categories is the property life cycle. I want to give it an end-to-end solution so that they will be more comfortable to connect with me and to work with us. So many people in the market, they do only one portion of work and they go away. So it is not an end-to-end solution. So I want to address this problem. So that is the reason I'm talking more on the each of these categories like invest, rent, manage. I'm putting each category a list of videos I'm putting, so you can capture idea from different videos. You can go through it. And the first one is the investment. I almost covered. In case if I miss it, you can let us know. If it is relevant, I am ready to post another video with respect to property investment. So I categorized each of these category a separate playlist. Under that investment, these are the videos. So whatever relevant to you, you can see that, get a benefit or idea from that. So as part of the category, the second category is rent. So I'm going to put a series of videos with respect to rent, manage, and the sale. So that is the objective of this whole life cycle. And giving a value added idea to the owners, investors, tenants. So that is the idea behind these videos. So today I'm talking about local owners who make 10 mistakes when they rent out the property. So I took a sample scenario so that you can understand with the story easily rather than some theoretical input. So that is why I picked up that story so that you will easily understand. The Puneet currently living in 2 BHK flat in Concord, Manhattan, Electronic City, and purchased a new villa in RBD Stillwater, moved into new villa in Harlow. In Bangalore only, it is a different location. Electronic City to Harlow, he is coming. Now he wanted to rent out his 2 BHK flat with his own effort. He is not interested to go with any other professionals or agent who can help on this end to end. So he went ahead with his own effort of renting out his 2 BHK. It was successful. And he saved the agent charges also. So that looks nice. He did a good effort and he rented out his property. It looks nice. So in this perspective, on this context, so what are all things that he is facing issues and how do we resolve those issues? So that is the point I'm trying to explain. So the first mistake, what he did is improper agreement. So ask the tenant to make an agreement. He is a busy person. He may be professional working in some, companies or corporates or doctors or any other profession who rented out this property over phone. Somebody got connected and he was comfortable to proceed. He said, you go ahead and asked him only to make a document, which is a rental agreement. And on this rental agreement, you don't have time to review. Also, he told him to proceed. So he made the rental agreement in some nearby shop, and he has some clauses on that. And he went ahead and prepared the agreement and submitted to society. Because some society will ask a rental agreement, some society don't even ask. So I've seen even owners, they don't even make this document and allow to get into the tenant. So that is issue is what I'm trying to address. And in that agreement, whatever a tenant made, were not properly captured the alterations in the flat. Suppose a partition, he want to make it in balcony, or in a study room, he want to make some partition. So according to the any general agreement on the rental perspective, the tenant should not make any alterations with the existing structure of the building or any other nails. Partition making is something involved a lot of nails on the walls and the floor so that it will not shake. So this clause is missed in the agreement, and that resulted in a dispute between owner and the tenant. How he can make such things without, discussing with me as a owner. So since that clause was not there, and he went ahead and told tenant to proceed, and he made that partition. That become an issue, and that become a legal dispute, and Puneet does not have any document which written and agreed with the tenant that he should not make any alteration in the flat. So in that point, he get caught and he lost the legal battle. So that is the first mistake. So, and second one is ignoring the flat maintenance. Due to work, owners I have seen, they ask tenant to fix it. So for example, somebody, deep cleaning if you want. So that owners don't come here. They'll tell tenant, you book, some company and get it done. And that charge you deduct from the rent. So no supervision. So these things, sometimes temporarily is okay. Suppose if you go for a paint, I have seen cases, they made some shabby work and marks were there on the walls. It is not properly painted. So the tenant does not take care of much because he don't, involve and he don't stay there permanently. It is ideally owner job should supervise and make sure that you are given a right qualified vendor and he has done the right job. So that he didn't do it. Because of that, it was a poorly maintenance work done in the flat. Setting incorrect rent. So many owners, some owners I have seen so greedy that beyond the market rent they demand. Some owners are a very flexible, nice person. So they don't even know the actual market rent. They'll ask below market rent. So that results in losing tenants. Suppose if you overquote beyond the certain limit, suppose if 30,000 is a three-bedroom budget. So if you quote 35, at least you can negotiate something. So and bring it to 30. Some people will stay on 35 only, and the tenant will reject because of that. So for that, he lose the tenant and it result in financial loss. So you should always understand the market and try to see your neighbors, what kind of rent they have given it. So it's a marginal is okay. As per the market rent, you should rent out, not beyond that market price or below the market price. So you should be keep in touch with the society manager. They also will have discuss with them, neighbors, friends, owners, understand the right market price and vote for that. And this Puneet, since he got the reference from security, he gave a key to the security, and he only shown the property. And one day from security, they called them, told that there is a tenant showing the interest. So over phone only, he agreed and to proceed. And he didn't check any background check of the tenant. So he was a shop owner, a business guy. So okay, it's not that all are a problem. And this guy was a defaulted the rent. So he is not paying on time the rent, and there is no credit or criminal history check happened on the tenant. So that is the mistake he has done. Because of that, every month he has to chase for the rent and get that rent from him. So it become a headache for the Puneet to for the letting out this tenant. So, and the fifth one is there is no proper inspection. So since the Puneet is very busy man, he don't have time to visit and see the property, how the tenant maintained, is there any issues? At least a periodical 6 months once he should be ready to visit there and see the property. He has done all are correct. Some tenants I have seen, they don't tell the problem to the owner. They live with the problem. For example, one small seepage which is in the bathroom supposed to be done the grouting, they don't even tell that. If you see the next to the bathroom which is from the bedroom, and you can see seepage marks. So that they don't know, first of all, it's coming from because of the bathroom water seeping out to the wall, because there is no sunlight. Day by day it will increase. Then finally one day you will see big seepage marks. The tenants usually see some 2 3 years stay. After that, owner comes and sees, and you see the big marks. Now it is whose problem? So the tenants sometimes I've seen people that tenant because of they need to spend money for these kind of fixes. So they want to avoid telling this to the owners. So they live with the problem. One day after 3 years, if owner comes and see, you see the big surprises there. So that is why generally the owner should visit there every 6 months, see, make sure that things are okay. And in this case, the tenant below the sink, there was some seepage. There is a kitchen tap, the sink. It just, there is some seepage marks and a water come down to the ply, which is below the sink and it dripping down. Because of that, entire, cabinet sucked the water and it spoiled the wood, plywood. So now it is whose fault is this? So ideally, tenant should tell to the owner, so and so leak coming, or you call the vendor. The society support is there. Plumbers, electricians, just need a grouting there. Or you call some companies, professional companies, book a slot, and let them come and do it. So of course the charge is there. They don't come and do free, but you should discuss it with the owner, or how do we sort out this before doing it, get the approval from owner, who pays it, just to make sure that things are clear. See now this, I have seen same case in another flat. So interior guy came and saw that. He said simply you need to remove the bottom below sink interiors and put a new interior. Costed some 1.6 lakhs. So now the tenant will pay 1.6 lakhs. See, this is what it's getting into the argument mode, dispute. So finally, the owner spent money and got that fix done. and ignored the legal obligations. Property tax double the square feet when they rented out. So in this case, the Punit moved out to the villa and he was paying a own usage property tax in his flat. For example, in Bangalore, it depends on each zone. For example, E zone, which is under BBMP, if you own a property and if you use that flat for own use, so per square feet, property tax rate is 1.2 rupees per square feet you're supposed to pay to BBMP. Suppose if you rent that flat to a tenant, you are not staying, it's not used for own use, it is a rented out. So on such case, it is doubled. 2.4 rupees per square feet is your tax. So according to this context, the Punit don't know these things and he continued to pay as a own usage property tax. So which is, for example, 3,500 is his plan. If you rented out, it will be around 7,000. So he's supposed to pay 7,000. He didn't pay that 7,000. He continued to pay 3.5 thousand. So that resulted, and VBMP guys somehow they found out and they saw that this issue, then started recovering from the year he rented out, revised. Yeah, they know the data. There's nothing to hide here. They go to society and they find out the detail. There is nothing to hide here. So we have to pay from the day which is rented out, the revised maintenance with penalty. So the delayed repairs. The next is ignoring the tenant requests. I've seen many owners, they tell to the owners they don't respond properly. They take their own time to respond. So, so because of that, the tenant has to live with the problem. So ideally, tenant pays money. Why do we need to live with the problem? So that is the tenant issue. So they should resolve as early as possible. So in this case, the tenant reported the issue of balcony door not closing and the owner not giving an approval to change the wheels of the doors so that it will remove the smooth operations. If they wanted it to become tight because over a long period the wheel was not changed, so because of that it become tight. So the owner kept ignoring, then finally it stopped moving and another vendor called. He said the bottom piece which is fixed on the bottom most floor, that piece has to be changed with the wheels. So if it would have been earlier changed, only wheel has to be changed. Because of the delay, then vendor called and that edge where the wheel is running, that edge become flat. So wheel no more able to move there. So on such case, you have to change the bottom and the wheel. So it become double the charges. So this is the reason like owner should see that if it is a really a genuine problem, see that ask them to send a video, photo, make sure that you address that on time so that you don't see the incur the expenses later, it resulting that double the cost now. And ignoring the property insurance. In India, this is the most ignored thing. So they never take care of the property. Even I've seen health insurance, which is very important, very least bothered, and of course next is the property. So owners tend to ignore this. I recommend take the property insurance and so that you will be safe. For example, your tenant, gas leak. You've seen many cases, even in hotels, they see cylinder blast. So these things are ignored mostly. And if you need any help, I have vendors, I can help to get that insurance for your flat. Improper move out strategy. See, they don't have any move out strategy. Owners, if the tenant says that I'm moving out tomorrow, okay, they'll say, and this guy will move out. And when they settle the deposit, there is some dispute. So you didn't give this, you didn't give that, and I'm deducting this, I'm not deducting this. So why, how did you deduct this? There are arguments between owner and tenants. So you should see that, at least 1 week before, see that, everything is okay. If you are inspecting this properly, you know the condition very well. If you don't know, you go one day and obviously you will see the surprise. So make sure that you see that well in advance and discuss these terms in advance. Write it in advance in agreement itself. You're charging painting charge, make it very clear. And if you are professionally cleaned the flat you're given, you can charge them when they move out. They also should give back professionally cleaned flat. It's not that they just put all the waste, dump in that and go away. If they dump it and whatever that waste removal charge, BBMP guys will charge 1,000 rupees to remove the entire waste on top of the deep cleaning charge. So the charge will come. Otherwise, they should not leave that. At least the maid clean, tenant should clean that and give to the owner. And the deposit settlement also, there are something like if you see that there is some issue, you release 90% or 85% of the fund, because I've seen tenants, they have to give the deposit to the next owner. So this owner does not understand that. Very difficult to convince him. And because the other guy is supposed to take this deposit and give him the flat, because next guy need this fund. So as soon as you inspect the property, just arrive the calculation, make sure the tenant reviewed and approved on that cost, whatever supposed to return. Say, for example, suppose your deposit settlement is 85,000 after deducting all those things. And you can keep some repairs are there. You don't know how much is the cost. So you hold some money. For example, you hold some 7, 8,000. Suppose if a expense coming to 5,000, you hold 8,000. Sometimes the power bill, they don't pay it when they move up. Till that day, they don't pay it because that cycle date maybe next week. So you have to get that bill paid. Then whatever the charge comes, you can deduct. You hold some 10% of money of 85,000. So once all the bills are clear, you can deduct that balance. Any refund you can pay to them. So you don't need to hold full money, tenant money. So you release the 85% of actual due supposed to be released to the tenant, so that they'll give to the next owner and they stay comfortably. And you see whatever the expenses, maybe 5,000 expenses, you hold up to 8,000. So once work is done, you deduct that some 4,800, whatever charge comes, balance you can 3,200 return back to the tenant as a second payment. So that is easy for them also. They don't need to wait for full money for a small repair. So that also you can do it. So by looking at all these things on this context, I would have been there and I look for some proper property consultant, property manager. I'll delegate to them, let them handle these things and let them collect the rent and credit to my account. Of course, they'll be charging. See, nothing is free in this world. There will be some charge. So you pay to them, get professionally manage these issues so that you can concentrate on your job and there is a professional who handles that. So this is what we are doing as a property consultants, and we do property management for local owners also. They have multiple property owners and busy guys. They can't manage their property alone. Suppose the vendors, they need support for the vendors. For example, small change on the tile, some polishing work on wood. So they need help. They don't have a right vendors. So if you connect with the proper property managers, they have a list of vendors. They connect with you the right person so that your job is done smoothly without any issues. If you go and do the search in the market, you may find correct person, or if that person workmanship poor, so you will land up such issues. The property managers who already did this exercise for in some other flat, so they can say so that they can connect with you and get that job done. So I would recommend, rather than facing these many issues, get one proper property consultant, property manager, you delegate it. Few are doing good. I'm not saying all the owners are facing this kind of problem. I've seen few owners are very perfectly doing it. If you do perfectly all these things, you better continue to do by yourself. You are comfortable, you can able to manage, no problem, you can handle it. So I hope this gives some idea about property, renting by the owners, local owners especially. So this is our vision, mission, what we do, and property management, villa, rent, site. So this is the our management service we offer, which to the local owners, remote owners, whoever wants and short in the time to manage their property. On top of that, we do buy, sell, rent, real estate services also. We're planning to do some franchisee to other locations. And SaaS product development is going on for further expansion of this current successful business model. So we plan to extend to the other location also. So we'll keep you posted in our social media for further developments. So this is our service catalog at a high level. So it is self-explanatory. You can go through it if any issues. And last slide, we have contact number. You can connect with us. We will help you to understand it better. This is a book I am writing mainly for the remote owners who are living outside the India, and what are all things they should take care with respect to the property life cycle. That for one circle I've shown: investment, rent, manage, and sale. On these perspective, what are all the things they should take care? That is the point I'm discussing in this book. This we will be releasing it soon. Thank you for watching. And if you have any help with respect to your property rentals, help on the property management perspective, you connect with us, and this is our number. You can ping us. We'll help you. If you like this video, please give thumbs up, subscribe, and click the bell icon for the new videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.